Basketball is back. Basketball is back. It's time to tip off the 2021 FHSAA 4A District 9 Boys Basketball Tournament live from the gymnasium on the campus of Atlantic High School in Port Orange, Florida, commonly known as the Shark Tank. 5 games in 4 days are coming your way, starting with a quarterfinal doubleheader that starts right now. Hello and a very warm welcome to tonight's broadcast of the FHSAA District Basketball Playoffs on MJT Sports Productions. My name is Michael Trevino. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If this tournament even comes close to the excitement of last week's girls tournament, we should be in store for a thriller of a week. The first of 4 quarterfinals pits the number 4 seed and host Atlantic High School Sharks against the number 5 seed Titusville Terriers. The Terriers finished the regular season with a record of 4-13 and are looking to grab some upsets and turn their season around to give their 3 seniors, Alex Messer, Gage Tenadini, and Richard Hargrove, more time wearing the blue and gold. In 2020, the Terriers beat Space Coast in the first round, then lost to Cocoa in the semifinals, so Titusville will love to equal or better last season's performance. The Atlantic Sharks come into the tournament as the number 4 seed, record of 8-9. A solid start that saw Atlantic win 7 of their first 9 games, and the Sharks sank in the month of January, dropping 7 of their last 8 with a lone win last week over Deltona. Last season, Atlantic was upset in the quarterfinals by a satellite team that went on to finish second in the tournament. Pacing the Sharks on offense is sophomore guard Cameron Reynolds, who averages 11.1 points per game. Fellow guard, junior Corey McDonald, adds 10.3 points per game and is Atlantic's top 3-point shooter at 30%. Under the basket, junior Emmanuel Preston is a force on the glass, averaging 9.7 points per game and just under 6 rebounds. Preston also leads all of Volusia and Flagler counties in total rebounds with 71. I spoke with Sharks head coach Derek Williams about putting the second half of the season behind them and their his maiden voyage, into the playoffs as Atlantic head coach. I'm here with Atlantic boys basketball head coach Derek Williams right before the quarterfinals of the FHSAA 4A District 9 basketball tournament. Coach, it's been a tough run-in, tough January. Kids have been fighting all the way. Give me your take on what's happened the past couple of weeks as we run into the tournament.
I think my kids right now, we just got to figure out how to finish games. We've, as we spoken earlier, I said out of all our losses, matter of fact, out of every game, we've been up every game except 3 at halftime. So it's a matter of us coming out second half and extending that lead in the third and giving us a little cushion when they do get a little tight. But if we play free, we have no pressure on us. At the end of the day, we're the 4th seed, so nobody expects us to win, and we just got to play, and run through a wall.
You are the favorites tonight against Titusville, who come in as the 5 seed, but they're a tough team. They got a lot of speed. They got a lot of height down low. What is your game plan coming into tonight against the Terriers?
Well, our game plan is always the same. We just want to extend our defense. We want to defend them. We want to rebound the basketball, leave them one shot now, and most importantly, not let their best players get going. We want to make everybody else beat us. If we can do that, I feel good about our chances.
Foul trouble has been a little bit of an issue for you guys this year, especially with your big men, Preston and Sharpton. What is your plan to combat people getting in foul trouble?
Well, we've been trying to zone here and there. If you've been to our games, you see we're off and on. We're trying to go man, trying to go zone, trying to conserve those guys so they don't pick up those fouls. They just got to do a better job moving their feet and keeping their hands up.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Now as we get closer to tip-off for the opening game of the 4A District 9 Boys Basketball Tournament, it's time for the MJT Sports Productions Keys to the Game. For Titusville win the battle on the glass, the Terriers have a forward-heavy lineup and an overall height advantage. Second chance points will be paramount for the Titusville to pull the upset. And for Atlantic, avoid foul trouble. The Sharks, especially Emmanuel Preston, have had trouble staying in games this season. Keeping their starters on the floor in the fourth quarter is very important if the Sharks want to swim to the semifinals. Now, let's join the PA announcer at the Shark Tank and get this ball game underway.
The FHSAA reminds you that the cultural activities are the center of the classroom and that lessons are best learned with proper respect and support to all. Please let your good sportsmanship show as you watch this evening's game. Please stand for the singing of the national anthem by junior performing arts student Kenya Walker. Oh, Daniels. Number 25, Rashad Small. Number 30, Drayton Brown. Number 32, Gio Slaughter. Number 42, Omar Top. And for your starting lineup, we have number 3, junior Corey McDonald. Number 11, senior AJ Rivera. Number 22, junior Emmanuel Preston. Number 23, junior Trey Sharpton. And number 35, sophomore Cameron Reynolds.
Those are the starting lineups for the Sharks. It's Corey McDonald, AJ Rivera, Emmanuel Preston, Trace Sharpton, and Cameron Reynolds. And for the Titusville Terriers, Alex Messer, Abidas Almonte, Kevin Jackson, Chase Jenkins, and Richard Hargrove. We are just about set to go. The Terriers in the road black, trimmed in blue and gold. Atlantic in the home white, trimmed in teal and black. The referees just walking over to the table. The head referee is Travis Potter. He has the ball in his hand. The Sharks will go right to left, Terriers left to right. And as my good friend Cameron Irvine would say, tip it. We're underway. Oh, wait. Nobody touched the ball. It went straight up and straight down again. We'll try that again. So as my good, wait a minute. A little bit of a comedy of errors here. Everybody has a laugh. We get set. As my good friend Cameron Irvine would say, tip it. We're underway. Titusville starts with the basketball. Again, they work left to right in the road black. Up top it comes Richard Hargrove. Messer to the left-hand corner, Almonte under the basket to nobody in particular, and Corey McDonald takes the ball for the Sharks. Into the front court, here's Rivera. Kicks it back to McDonald, left-hand corner, jumper on the way, and go from 3 points from Cameron Reynolds. Reynolds on the board quickly, 3-0 Sharks. Sharks from the full court press. Hargrove gonna dribble it up the floor, gonna get the ball poked away from behind, but he's gonna be fouled in the process by Emmanuel Preston. And we talked in the pregame show and with head coach Derek Williams about keeping specifically Emmanuel out of foul trouble. Not a good look as he gets a foul on him 30 seconds in. Titusville inbounds it right in front of the scorer's table. Here's Chase Jenkins, guarded by Preston out high. A whistle and an offensive foul underneath. And it's going to be on Almonte, his first. So 3-0 Sharks, and they have the basketball. Dynamite sophomore Cameron Reynolds rocks the ball across the time stripe. 7:15 to go in the game. Excuse me, that last foul was on number 4, Jackson, not Almonte. Shovel to the back to the top for Reynolds. Reynolds gets around a screen, drives to the basket, Euro step, underneath, layup no good. Rebound goes to Titusville with Richard Hargrove. Hargrove hands to Almonte. Almonte into the front court left-hand wing. Walks it back to the top, guarded by Rivera. Then hands it off to Chase Jenkins. Jenkins on a drive, kick out. Hargrove to the lane. He puts it up, no good off the front of the rim. And the Sharks take possession, but dispossessed as he tried to split a double team in his own back court. Then diving on the loose basketball, and it's going to be a jump ball. I can't quite see who that was. It was Cameron Reynolds. What a tremendous play. Reynolds got the ball poked away from behind as he was trying to leave the defensive zone after the turnover. Then he got the ball poked away from behind. He dove on the floor and got the tie-up. Possession arrow to Atlantic, and they'll maintain control. 6.5 minutes to go, first quarter, 3-0 Sharks. Reynolds, right side, here's McDonald. McDonald on a drive, kick out left-hand corner. Rivera a three, yes sir! Johnny Rivera with the triple, and it's all threes for the Sharks. It's 6-0. 6:15 to go in the first quarter as the crowd gets loud here at the Shark Tank. Across the timeline, here's Chase Jenkins. Jenkins to the free throw line. Pull up too strong. Battle underneath. The basket is won by Preston, and the Sharks take control. Quickly into the front court. Reynolds in front of the Terriers bench. Back to the top, Rivera. Rivera to the left-hand corner, Sharpton. Baseline drive. Bounce pass underneath the basket is on the floor, and it's picked up by Titusville. Intended for Emmanuel Preston. Terriers down 6-0 with the basketball. Up top, here's Alex Messer, the senior. Hands it to Hargrove, and then across to Almonte. Back to the top of the key, and then left side for Jackson. Kevin Jackson guarded by Corey McDonald. Bounce pass right-hand side off the high ball screen. Driving the lane is Hargrove. He gets to the lane, lays up with the right hand. It hangs on the rim and in. And Richard Hargrove has the first points of the night for Titusville at 6-2. Trey Sharpton, top of the key. He drives the lane. Bounce pass out McDonald. His three-pointer right-hand wing, too strong. Rebound is jumped for by Sharpton, and he gets it. Sharpton tries to put it back up and in. Got to get out of the paint, my friend. Shovels it off to Preston. Preston puts up a tough layup, won't go, and Hargrove grabs the miss. Hargrove, a big boy, 6'5", with the long hair flowing behind him as he walks across the timeline. Goes all the way to the baseline, then stops, guarded by Sharpton. He's going to pull up over Sharpton, and is too short. Getting the miss is Jackson. Another offensive rebound and a foul is going to be called. Oh, it's going to be offensive foul on Jackson, his second. So the Sharks, I don't see what happened right there as Draken Brown checks in for the Sharks. Trey Sharpton leaves. Brown, the sophomore 6'4" forward, who also plays wide receiver on the football team. Cameron Reynolds has the ball for the Sharks, and Atlantic leads 6-2 with 4.5 minutes to go. Here's Rivera. Right side, Corey McDonald, left-hand drive, floater in the lane, too short, and the ball is grabbed by the Terriers, pushing the pace all the way to the lane. Chase Jenkins off the glass and in. 6-4, last 4 points all scored by the Terriers. Inbounds pass goes to Cameron Reynolds. 4:10 to go first quarter. Reynolds, left-hand drive, gets it to Rivera. The paint is open. Rivera drives, kicks underneath the Preston. Back out left corner. McDonald a three, in and out. And the Terriers take the rebound. Pushing the plays is Chase Jenkins. Jenkins in front of the Atlantic bench to listeners right. He is guarded all the way by Rivera. He lays it off to Jackson, top of the key between the circles. Left-hand corner, Almonte tries a three, too short. And the rebound is grabbed by Draken Brown. AJ Rivera now runs point for the Sharks into the front court. Right-hand corner, Reynolds, then Rivera gets it back. Right-hand wing drive, gets to the free throw line, hands it back to McDonald. The paint is open, a blocked shot. Preston grabs the miss and lays it in. Nice hands by Preston to grab the blocked shot and put it back up and in. First Shark points in a couple of minutes. All the way to the lane, and an offensive foul is called on Chase Jenkins as he was steamrolling towards the basket. That'll be his first. Rashad Small checks in for AJ Rivera. And the Sharks will check it in. Corey McDonald will run the offense this time for Atlantic. Still in his own half of the floor, now walks across the timeline. 3:07 to go first quarter, 8-4 Sharks. Here's Rashad Small. Ball to the left-hand corner. McDonald a three, too strong. Rebound Preston, his putback is blocked by Richard Hargrove, and the Terriers take possession. Almonte working on Small, into the front court, hands it off to Chase Jenkins. Jenkins at the free throw line. Step back, thought about a three, won't take it. Hargrove off the high ball, screen, and his pass underneath the basket is taken away by the Sharks. Baseline, shoveled underneath to Draken Brown, who lays it in with the left hand. Excellent transition. Defense to offense in transition by the Sharks, and an easy layup for Draken Brown. Into the front court, Almonte off a pass, gets to the lane, he gets fouled, and he'll go to the line. First foul on Draken Brown. As Amidas Almonte is at the line. He's a 44% free throw shooter on the year, averages just over 5 points a game. First one for Almonte is up and good, and into the ball game comes Trey Sharpton. He replaces Preston, who has one foul. Second of a two-shot penalty coming for Almonte. It is up, it is good. 10-6 Atlantic, and the first substitutions of the game for Titusville. Almonte heads to the bench. Ray Wilson Polidor comes into the ball game for him. Trey Sharpton controls for the Sharks across the timeline. Drives into a double team top of the key. Continues to try and drive through a double team. Right-hand corner, here's McDonald. McDonald guarded closely by Wilson Polidor. Gets by Polidor, bounce pass out of the basket, ball comes out to Small. He kicks it left-hand corner. McDonald thought about a three, back to Sharpton. He shovels it under the basket to Draken Brown, who lays it in. And Draken Brown becomes the first two-time scorer of this ball game. 12-6, Sharks on top. Under 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Top of the key, Jenkins, the lob, and it's taken away underneath. Reynolds into the front court for Sharpton. Sharpton, right-hand wing, back to Small. Small to Cameron Reynolds, his three-pointer, left-hand wing, dribbles around and out, and it's out of bounds over the baseline. Terriers basketball. This has been a really high-paced game so far. Couple of fouls, 3 on the Terriers, 2 on the Sharks. Terriers control down 12-6, minute and a half to go, first quarter. Into the front court, here's Wilson Pryor, or Polidor. Polidor left-hand side for Jenkins. Jenkins gets by Small, gets to the lane, Euro step, layup no good, off to the right. And Draken Brown grabs the miss for Atlantic. Shovels it over. Reynolds in transition, gets to the lane, layup is good for Cameron Reynolds. Last couple of possessions, Atlantic has really punished the Titusville lack of ability to get back on defense, for a lack of a better term. Standing on the Atlantic logo, then pitching it left side to Polidor. Underneath it goes. Posting up is Messer. Back outside to Hargrove. Hargrove, baseline jumper. Too strong. Rebound, fought for, won by the Terriers. It's on the ground. It's to the baseline. It's grabbed by the Sharks. Next second chase down by McDonald into the front court into the right-hand corner for Cameron Reynolds. Reynolds, baseline, bounce pass to Brown. Back out, Sharpton, 15-footer, swish! Trey Sharpton now on the board, 16-6. Sharks have opened up a 10-point lead. 15 seconds to go, first quarter. Polidor across to Jenkins in front of the Sharks bench. Back to the top for Christian Moore. Bounce pass onto the high post. Hargrove turns Draken Brown and does a nice little layup off the glass. And that is the end of the first quarter. Your score, Atlantic Sharks 16. Titusville Terriers 8. We'll take 30 seconds and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the 4A District 9 Boys Basketball Championship. Want to get your business on the air in front of the Atlantic fans? If you would like to advertise via MJT Sports Productions, the official play-by-play internet radio partner of Atlantic High School, is a sponsor of Atlantic Athletics, please email Atlantic Athletic Director Tron Griffin at tdgriffy@volusia.k12.fl.us. That's TDGRIFFI at volusia.k12.fl.us. Court side of the Shark Tank, second quarter. On tap, Sharks lead the Titusville Terriers 16-8, the quarterfinals of the 4A District 9 Boys Basketball Tournament. Titusville wearing the all-black road strip trimmed in blue and gold. They have the ball. They play right to left. The shot from way out by Polidor is no good. Grabbed by Reynolds on the miss. Reynolds pushing the pace. Gets it back from McDonald. Left-hand drive into the lane. Gets by double team. Kicks it out to Sharpton. Baseline jumper, no. Rebound is on the ground, fought for it, rolls out of bounds. Sharks ball, as it was last touched by Alex Messer of Titusville. The Sharks have really punished the Terriers so far on turnovers and buckets in transition. At least 8 of their 16 points have come that way, and Draken Brown and Cameron Reynolds has been the beneficiaries of it. McDonald has the ball now to his right. Kicks it to Reynolds. Reynolds at the free throw line. Back to Sharpton. Steps around a defender. Gets to the paint. And it's not going to be in, but he'll go to the line as his floater in the lane was too strong. Alex Messer picks up his first foul. Trey Sharpton, a 54% free throw shooter on the season. And his first one is up and good. 17-8 Sharks, 7:26 to go first quarter. Into the game is junior forward Colin Jacobson for Titusville. This is a tall Titusville lineup. 6'3" is Jacobson, as the second one from Sharpton is up and good, hits them both.
Camera, off the ball, on 12.
The press comes from Atlantic. Polidor takes it. Polidor against Reynolds in his own half of the floor, tries to outrace him and gets into the front court. Shovel to the left-hand corner, baseline drive, whistle and a stoppage of play, and a traveling violation called against Christian Moore. Atlantic up by 10, 18-8, and the basketball. Thrown into McDonald, almost tapped away from him, but he gets it. Oh no, he stepped on the baseline as he was chasing down the loose ball, and it's gonna be Reynolds who steps on the line, Titusville ball. So it was tapped away from McDonald, and then he tried to chase it down but stepped on the baseline as he recovered the basketball. Titusville in the backcourt with Chase Jenkins. He's double teamed. He throws the ball up for grabs. Hargrove grabs it in front of the scorer's table. Back to Jenkins. Into the right-hand corner it goes. Three on the way, too strong. Rebounded by Corey McDonald. McDonald pushes the pace with a long pass to Rivera, who's just checked back in. Back to Sharpton. Sharpton in the high post. Underneath the basket, Preston. Preston lost the ball to Polidor, and Terriers take the basketball. Into the front court with Chase Jenkins. A 6'2" guard, very tall, very long for a guard at the high school level. Right side, here's Jenkins again. High post, Hargrove gets under the basket and one, as he drove right through Corey McDonald. And they're going to call the foul on Cameron Reynolds as he tapped him on the back as he went up to shoot. At the line, Richard Hargrove, only a 32% free throw shooter. Averages 4.6 points a game. But he is the tallest player on the team at 6'5". And he's got 6 points already, and it won't be 7 because the rebound is no good. 18-10, Sharks over the Terriers. Quickly into the right-hand corner for Reynolds. Reynolds, guarded by Jenkins. Cycles around to the left-hand corner. Rivera tries a three. It's good! Johnny Rivera has his 6th point of the game on his second three. Sharks pressure the inbounds pass. Pressure by Preston, and then he backs off as Hargrove got it into Polidor. Right side, Jenkins. Excuse me, that's Jordan Brown who's just checked in. Brown over to Polidor at the top of the key. Polidor shovels it inside, and it's taken away by Reynolds, and he's fouled as he tried to leave the zone. First foul on Richard Hargrove, and I think it's important, as it is for Titusville to get Preston in foul trouble. It's going to be important for Atlantic to get Richard Hargrove in foul trouble. 5 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the first half. 21-10, Sharks on top in this crucial quarterfinal matchup. Trace Sharpton gets around his defender, but his pass is out of the hands of Johnny Rivera in the left-hand corner. And it'll be Titusville basketball to inbound out of the baseline, all the way in front of their own bench. Two listeners left. Titusville, they wear the road black, trimmed in blue and gold. Polidor, the gunner, he throws it high over everybody's head for Hargrove to chase. Hargrove into the front court, throws it away to Trace Sharpton. Sharpton, bounce pass across the timeline to McDonald. McDonald, back up top, Reynolds. Reynolds into a double team, gets it to Rivera. Back to the top, Sharpton. Sharpton spins in the lane, back to Rivera. Rivera tries a three. It's no good, wide right. And the ball on the ground is rolled across the baseline. It'll be Atlantic basketball. Oh, they're going to actually get Colin Jacobson for a foul. And Mashad Small will come in for the Sharks. He replaces Cameron Reynolds, who takes his first seat of the night. Sharks with Rashad the gunner under the basket that they attack to listeners left. Into the corner for McDonald. McDonald tries to split a double team, then backs out of it. Now he drives, gets to the paint, floater too short, and the rebound grabbed by Jacobson. Polidor for the Terriers. Guarded in his own zone by Rivera. Rivera bumps him as he came across the timeline, but he still gets it over to Jordan Brown in front of the Sharks bench. Jordan Brown, guarded closely by Corey McDonald. Lays it off to Polidor, left-hand wing. Polidor tries to fight through a double team, gets to the baseline, gets to the paint. His layup is good, and one. Got a move by Ray Wilson Polidor. And it's going to be the second one on Emmanuel Preston. First bucket of the night for Polidor. And it looks like Drake and Brown is going to check back in for Preston as they try to keep the big man in the game. Coming down the stretch, he's already got 2 fouls here halfway through the second quarter, excuse me. Polidor to the line for the and one. It is up, it is good. And Cameron Reynolds checks back in for Rashad Small. Titusville shows 2-man press. Rivera comes back, takes the basketball, shovels it back to Sharpton, still in their own zone. Sharpton on the Atlantic logo. Now across the timeline it goes to Reynolds. Reynolds all the way across to Rivera. Rivera gets to the paint, kicks it out right-hand corner. McDonald for 3. Swish! For Corey McDonald, his first points of the ball game. It's 24-13, lead up to 11. Quickly into the front court. Here is Colin Jacobson for Titusville. Now Chase Jenkins backs up to center, hands to Polidor. Polidor, left-hand wing. Hands it off to Jacobson, back to the top. Jacobson with a drive, spins past Sharpton, gets to the lane, gets fouled. Nice move by Colin Jacobson to get around Trey Sharpton and force him to foul him. He'll go to the line for 2. Jacobson, a 44% free throw shooter, and it is up and good, the first one. Nice crowd here at the Shark Tank for this first quarterfinal. I see the Space Coast Vipers will be playing in our second quarterfinal against Cocoa, sitting behind me. Up and in off the back iron for the second one from Colin Jacobson. Again, the 2-man press comes for the Terriers. Sharks with Sharpton in the middle. Walks across the time stripe, 4 minutes to go in the first half. Gets it back, Sharpton. Shovels it, right-hand corner, wide open 3, McDonald's too short. And the rebound is grabbed by Richard Hargrove into the front court. Here's the speedy Chase Jenkins. He gets to the lane, he misses the layup. The ball rolls out of bounds. It's actually saved, but right back to Jacobson, who lays it in. Corey McDonald flew into his own bench to save the basketball, but only ended up pitting it right to Jacobson. Into the front court, baseline drive for McDonald. Tips it back to the front. His pass is tipped, his pass is intercepted, but taken back by Reynolds, and then he's fouled. Corey, they're gonna get Jordan Brown for his first foul, and a timeout's gonna be called by Coach Derek Williams for Atlantic. I will run you through that scenario because it was kind of wacky. McDonald was in the left-hand corner, threw it back to the top, had the ball tipped away. Jordan Brown thought he had it. It was ripped away from him right on the half-court stripe by Cameron Reynolds, and then Cameron was knocked down from behind by Jordan Brown. Sharks fans, baseball and softball season is coming soon, and you can catch all the action from the Diamond on MJT Sports Productions, the official play-by-play home of your Atlantic Sharks. Be sure to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter, all at MJT Sports Productions, so you never miss a moment of the action. Let's go Sharks! And tonight at halftime, which is coming up in about 3.5 minutes, I'll be speaking to the Atlantic softball head coach to preview softball season, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. Once again, select home games for both baseball and softball can be heard right here on MJT Sports Productions. Check our socials to learn more. And that last foul by Jordan Brown was the 7th foul of the half on Titusville. So Cameron Reynolds will head to the line for the first time tonight to shoot a 1+1 penalty. Reynolds, a 62% free throw shooter, to go along with 36% from beyond the arc and 47% overall. First penalty shot of a 1-and-1 is up and good for Reynolds. Emmanuel Preston checks back in for the Sharks. He replaces Corey McDonald. Last shot coming for Reynolds. Into his windup, it's up, it's right through there. Titusville gets the ball inbounds. Atlantic backs off and runs their half-court defense. 26-17, Sharks over the Titusville Terriers. Left-hand side high, here's Jordan Brown. Gets past Rivera. Brown to the baseline, lays it up and in. Easy as you like for Jordan Brown, his first points of the contest. 26-13, or 26-19, excuse me. Rivera crosses half court in front of the scorer's table. Drake and Brown back out to Cameron Reynolds. Reynolds drives, kicks it to Rivera. Rivera tries a three, left-hand wing, it's too strong. Ball batted around and grabbed by Polidor. Polidor runs the floor, gets to the lane, over Rivera, in and one. What a shot by Ray Wilson Polidor. He raced down the floor. Rivera tracked him all the way, but Rivera pushed off as he got to the lane, and an acrobatic right-hand finish by Ray Wilson Polidor, the freshman guard. And the second and one opportunity of the first half coming for Polidor. It is in off the front of the iron. And the Titusville Terriers have closed the gap to 4, 26-22. The gap was 11 early in this quarter. Two-man press again from the Terriers. Trace Sharpton shovels it to Reynolds, then gets it back. Sharpton against Chase Jenkins. Across the timeline. Reynolds now trapped. Throws it away, but Rivera pokes it away from Hargrove. Into the left-hand corner. Three on the way from McDonald. It's no good. Preston with the rebound. He puts it back out and in, and he'll go to the line. That's the strength of Emmanuel Preston, as Jacobson will get the foul, his second, and he joins Kevin Jackson of the and one, is no good for Preston, but he joins Kevin Jackson with Terriers with 2 fouls. Jordan Brown up top, hands to Hargrove off the high ball screen. Left-hand side, here's Polidor. No, that's Jordan Brown. Brown over the head of Jacobson, but he recovers and gets it to Polidor in front of the scorer's table. Polidor walks to the top of the key, floats it left-hand corner. Jenkins drives, puts it up and in. Jenkins up to 4 points, 2 minutes to go. Into the front court through a double team. Here's Cameron Reynolds with his heels on the Atlantic logo at center court. 1:55 to go. Right-hand corner, drive, kick out, Rivera. Rivera walks it back to the top. And Coach Derek Williams wants Johnny Rivera to hold the ball. He's guarded by his opposite number, Jordan Brown. Cameron Reynolds now. Standing motionless, just in front of the half-court line. 1:35 to go. Guarded by Polidor. Tries to get around Polidor, and they're going to get Wilson Polidor for a reach-in. That'll be his first. And in the bonus are Atlantic, so they'll go to the line for a 1+1, Cameron Reynolds. Already 2 of 2 from the line, courtesy of a 1-and-1 earlier. DeJounte McDaniels, the senior, checks in for Corey McDonald, the junior.
Who's here now? No, he's got 11. He's got 23.
1-and-1 coming for Reynolds. First one is up. It's no good off the front of the iron. And the rebound goes to Titusville. Way long pass into the front court, and it's up and good for Colin Jacobson. Nobody guarded the big man racing up the floor, and it was an easy lay-in. Trace Sharpton in his own half of the floor. Across the timeline in front of the scorer's table, Rivera. Sharpton gets it back. It goes off his knee, but he recovers. A minute to go in the first half. A 2-point lead for the Sharks, 28-26. Reynolds tries to get around Jordan Brown to the left-hand corner for Rivera. Guarded by Wilson Polidor. Rivera backs up now. 50 seconds to go in the quarter. As the Sharks try and hold for the final shot here, Rivera. Trace Sharpton will walk back to the top, guarded by Polidor and Brown. Here's Reynolds, right-hand side. McDaniels McDaniels backs up towards the halfway line. Now he hands it back off a ball screen to Reynolds. 30 seconds left. Reynolds, corner McDaniels. McDaniels walks back to the top, fires to Trey Sharpton. He's got Wilson Polidor draped all over him. Here's AJ Rivera. Rivera gets by Polidor. He gets to the top of the key. 15 seconds to go in the half. Reynolds almost steps on the half-court line, almost coughs up the basketball. 6 seconds to go. He fires from the free throw line. It's up and in. And that is the end of the first half. A really long possession by the Atlantic Sharks to end the half. It is 30-26 Sharks over the Titusville Terriers. We'll take a break and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the 4A District 9 basketball tournament. Live from courtside here at the Shark Tank on the campus of Atlantic High School. This is the 4A District 9 FHSAA Boys Basketball Championship. It's the quarterfinal round, first of our two quarterfinals tonight between the Atlantic Sharks and the Titusville Terriers. We are at halftime, and Atlantic leads Titusville 30-26. Here are your scores at halftime for the Titusville Terriers. 3 players with 6 points. Ray Wilson Polidor has 6. Colin Jacobson has 6. Richard Hargrove has 6. Chase Jenkins has 4. Jordan Brown has 2. And Amidas Almonte has 2. And for the Atlantic Sharks, Cameron Reynolds leads the way with 9. AJ Rivera has 6, courtesy of 2 three-pointers, rather. Draken Brown has 4. Emmanuel Preston has 4. Trey Sharpton has 4. Corey McDonald has 3. Your foul situation for Titusville: Jacobson has 2, Jackson has 2, Alex Messer has 1, Hargrove has 1, and Jenkins has 1. And for Atlantic, the only player with 2 fouls is Emmanuel Preston. Unfortunately, that's the one player you don't want with 2 fouls. Then Rivera has 1, Brown has 1, Sharpton has 1, and Reynolds has 1. We will take 5 minutes and then be right back with the second half of action. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the FHSAA 4A District 9 Boys Basketball Playoffs.
bad at it. When I asked Big One the score clock for Stetson games, I was.
I've never done it with a guy announcing radio next to me, so it was a little bit distracting at first. So I had to like tune him out. No offense. No, you're great. And then I got this one over here pulling on my arm. All serious.
We are back live from courtside here at the Shark Tank on the campus of Atlantic High School. Second half on tap in our first quarterfinal. It's the Titusville Terriers and the Atlantic Sharks up on top 30-26. The winner of this game moves on to tomorrow's semifinal. They'll play the number 1 seed Astronaut High School War Eagles. And every game of this tournament can be heard right here on MJT Sports Productions on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. But I suggest tuning in, because that Astronaut team has some real ballers, and it's going to be a fun one to call. Teams are on the floor for the second half. Remember, Sharks 30, Terriers 26. Sharks in their home white, trimmed in teal and black. Terriers in the road black, trimmed in blue and gold. Blue numbers, gold trim for the Terriers. Sharks will get the ball off of the second half start. They'll go left to right in the second half as Johnny Rivera pitches the ball in to Cameron Reynolds, and away we go. Reynolds between the circles. Here's Sharpton, gets around a screen, drives the lane, puts up a layup. It is too short. Rebound grabbed by Richard Hargrove, the 6'5" junior for the Terriers. Back the other way, up and good. Offensive foul is going to be called against Chase Jenkins, excuse me. And that's Chase's second foul, both coming on offensive charges. The first one in the first half was on a very similar play when he drove all the way down the floor and just knocked into somebody that was in position. Cameron Reynolds, top of the key. Sharpton, similar position, drives around a double team, gets to the baseline. Sharpton puts it up too strong. Emmanuel Preston skies for the rebound, tries to put it back, and it is good. But do they call the foul before or after the shot? Neither. They called traveling. Oh, jump ball, as it was blocked up by Jenkins underneath, and it'll be Titusville ball. Thank you to the referee for coming and clarifying that, because I had no idea. Jenkins into the front court, finds Kevin Jackson. Jackson, floater in the lane, back to Hargrove underneath. His layup is too short. Grabbed by Preston, an immediate turnover, and a foul is going to be on the putback by Jordan Brown. Excuse me, Chase Jenkins. And that's the third foul on Emmanuel Preston. That is very concerning. First of a two-shot penalty up and no good from Jenkins. No score yet in the third quarter, second half. 1 minute gone. Second penalty shot is good from Jenkins. 3-point game. Sharks lead the Terriers, 30-27. Trey Sharpton back to McDonald. McDonald off a screen. Kicks it out McDonald. Thought about a three from the right-hand corner. Now drives, gets into the lane, loses the ball. Kevin Jackson stripped it right from his hands. And Abidas Almonte has the basketball for the Terriers. Almonte into the front court, into the left-hand corner. Three on the way, too strong. Back iron, no good. No into the Sharks really wanted the basketball, but it does come to Trey Sharpton. Sharpton to Rivera, and everybody wanted a double dribble on Ajani, but it wasn't called. Into the lane goes Trey Sharpton, and he lays it up and in with the right hand. Sharks on the board in the second half, 32-27. Atlantic leads Titusville. Almonte against Rivera in the backcourt. Almonte gets past Rivera, drives all the way to the baseline, gets her to the bucket, and is stripped by Rivera. Loose ball is being battled for multiple players on the floor. It comes to Hargrove, who puts it up, and will go to the line. And it's going to be Trey Sharpton's second foul. As Coach Williams has a so to the line goes Richard Hargrove, a 32% free throw shooter his first trip to the line today.
He was raising his arms. He was raising his arms. He got him on the elbow and he's going up.
Hargrove, 3, 4 dribbles, 5 dribbles. Now he's into his windup. It's up and no good off the back iron.
They're just as handsy with us when we're driving.
A very easy, slow action for Hargrove. As once again he takes his 5 dribbles and this time puts it up and in. 32-28, back to a 4-point lead for Atlantic. Reynolds, across the timeline, guarded by Jackson. Out high, here's Trey Sharpton against the 6'5" Richard Hargrove. Goes by Hargrove, gets to the left-hand corner. Here's Reynolds. He drives, kicks it to McDonald right between the circles. McDonald around Jenkins, back to Rivera out high. Atlantic loves these long possessions, drawn out possessions. You've got to score at the end of it. Rivera, left-hand corner, Reynolds. Reynolds walks back to the half-court stripe. 5:25 to go, 32-28, Sharks lead the Titusville Terriers. Reynolds drives, gets to the lane, it's up and in! Quick little burst of speed for Cameron Reynolds and quickly into the front court. Here's Jenkins. Jenkins drives, gets to the lane, lays it up and in. And a timeout is going to be called by Titusville. Chase Jenkins is a fast man. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. He took the ball off the inbounds pass, raced by everybody, and laid it up and in. Advent Health is here for you and with you during every tip-off, every timeout, and every season to support you physically, mentally, and spiritually in this game called life. Advent Health is on your team. They're your biggest fan, and they're here to help you feel whole. Advent Health is a proud supporter of Volusia County School Athletics. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. And I know in the first half I promised you an interview at halftime with the Atlantic softball coach. Unfortunately, she was not able to be here tonight, so we'll get that interview for you hopefully at some point during this tournament, or if not, I'm sure we will talk before one of their games this season that is broadcast right here on MJT Sports Productions. Sharks with the basketball up by 4, 34-30, 5:10 to play, third quarter. Once again, they go left to right across your radio dial in this second half. Cameron Reynolds slowly walks toward half court against Jenkins. Bounce pass to Ajani Rivera, who Jenkins slides over to guard. Floated over Jenkins, back to Reynolds in front of the scorer's table. Reynolds floats it over him, back to Rivera, then gets it back. Reynolds, right-hand corner, McDonald, back to Reynolds in front of the bench. Cycles around to the left-hand corner, Sharpton. Sharpton, back to the right-hand corner, McDonald. He pulls up for 3. It's no good, front iron. The ball's tapped over the baseline. It's Titusville basketball. Good ball movement by Atlantic. They got a clean look for Corey McDonald, but he's a little bit cold tonight. Only one basket made. That was that 3 back in the first quarter. Sharks pressure the inbounds pass, then back off. Here's Avidas Almonte, one-on-one with Ajani Rivera. Almonte crosses the timeline, puts it into the left-hand corner for Kevin Jackson. Jackson gets around a screen, gets to the lane, gets fouled, and he'll go to the line. Trace Sharpton just knocked him to the ground by his shoulder, and that's the 3rd on Sharpton. So now both Sharks big men have 3 fouls, and that does not bode well for the end of coming down to the end of this game. Drake and Brown is the other big, I could say, big man forward on this Sharks lineup, but he's only a sophomore. At the line for the 2, which is the first one is up and in, is Kevin Jackson. That's his first of the game. And we mentioned it in pregame. Coach and I were talking about it at shoot-around. We talked about it in his interview today. The Sharks have got to finish games. They've been up at halftime in most of their games this season, all but 3 or 4 of them, as the second penalty shot is up and good from Kevin Jackson. 2-point game, 34-32, Sharks lead. They found offense a little bit tough to come by in this third quarter as the Terriers have closed the gap. A.J. Rivera out up high. Double teamed by Almonte and Jenkins. Now he backs up with his heels on the half-court line. Over to Reynolds in front of the scorer's table. Reynolds back to Rivera, almost throws it over his head, but Rivera collects. This 2-1-2 zone for Titusville is really confusing the Sharks right now. Just playing pitch and catch. Now it goes under the basket. Trey Sharpton skies for it. Shovels it to Preston. Left-hand layup. No good, but it'll go to the line. They finally pitch the ball underneath. They're going to get the foul on Hargrove, his second. And to the line goes Emmanuel Preston. 0 for 1 from the stripe tonight. He missed an and one in the second quarter. First of a two-shot penalty up and good for Emmanuel. But yeah, both of the starting forwards for the Sharks have 3 fouls. Trey Sharpton and Emmanuel Preston. Into the game comes Ray Wilson Powell, the freshman 5'10" guard for Titusville, who has really good speed. Second is out, and that's 1 of 2. Another whistle and a foul, and it's going to be on Atlantic. Oh no, they're going to be a lane violation on Atlantic, not a foul. Polidor the gunner. Atlantic pressure the inbounds pass. It comes into Hargrove, then back to Polidor. Guarded by A.J. Rivera in his own half. Moves to his left, and a foul's going to be called on Rivera, reach-in of the reach-in variety. That's Ajani's second.
Hey, it's okay. We're driving them too. They can't put their hands on us. Corey,
Titusville in front of their own bench. Inbounding is Jackson. Shovels it into the high post to Hargrove. Hargrove around a moving screen, and a foul is going to be called on Atlantic. And it's going to be on Jackson, his third. Trey Sharpton was knocked to the ground on that screen, and he was illegal, so the Sharks will take possession up 3, 35-32. Despite the struggles on the offensive end, the Sharks still have the advantage. Cameron Reynolds floats it up for Rivera as the zone continues to flummox the Sharks offense. Back to Reynolds, who almost got a backcourt violation there. Now he's double teamed, floats it over to Rivera. Rivera tries to drive, but he still can't get away from the half-court line, but they pitch it into the corner. McDonald, back out Rivera. Rivera drives, gets under the paint, shovels it to Sharpton. Sharpton's 15-footer is good. Nice by Trey Sharpton. Jenkins to the lane, and 1. Chase Jenkins just drives straight at the Sharks again. And it's Corey McDonald, only his first foul, but once again, Chase Jenkins just takes the ball off the inbounds pass, goes coast to coast, and lays it in with little to no pressure. I remember back against Deltona here at the Shark Tank in early January, as the and one is up and good from Jenkins, that Eli Jones, the guard for Deltona, did this to Atlantic as well for the tune of 20 points, I believe.
Cameron, just give it back to him.
Reynolds back to Rivera. And then back to Reynolds, still haven't cleared the zone. Rivera gets across the timeline, 2:31 to go. And they're gonna get, I'm not sure what that was. And it looks like there's gonna be a foul on.
In the back ref make that count? Who makes the, no, I'm asking who makes the, is the back ref or?
Oh, they're gonna get a 10-second violation, on Atlantic. It's not a foul. I thought he was signaling for a push in the back. So it's Titusville basketball. Inbounds goes to Jenkins. Chase Jenkins against Emmanuel Preston out high, shovels it to Wilson Polidor. Polidor between the circles. Flat and then into the corner to Jenkins. Jenkins gets by Preston, gets to the lane, it is gonna be up, no good, but a foul. As 3 bodies crash to the ground, that's the 4th on Emmanuel Preston. And Preston will likely come out of the ball game with 2:16 to go in the third quarter. Sharks up 37-35, but a chance to tie the game from the free throw line for Chase Jenkins. His first shot's up and good.
use the clock. I'm saying, but in the referee book, the guy wins.
Second of a 2-shot penalty coming for Jenkins. Still perfect from the line tonight, 3 for 3, and now 4 for 4 as that one falls. Ajani Rivera controls, cross court to Cameron Reynolds. Now across the timeline back to Rivera. Rivera through a double team, gets to the right-hand wing, throws it to the corner, wide open for 3 is Giovanni Sprata, and it's no good. Long rebound, comes to Chase Jenkins. He runs the floor, Euro step in the lane, he puts it up, no good, gets his own miss. Hargrove puts it back up, no good, but a foul. And they're gonna get Giovanni Spada for his first. It's the senior's first action of the game, doesn't get a lot of playing time. And to the line goes Richard Hargrove. Only 1 of 3 from the charity stripe so far tonight. This is a tie game. A chance to give the Terriers their first lead of the night. First one no good off the back iron. The 6'5", very tall. Hargrove into his windup, missed them both. Rebound out of bounds, and it's going to go to Atlantic over the baseline. 37-37, a minute 53 to go in this opening quarterfinal of the 4A District 9 basketball boys tournament. Remember, the #1 seed Astronaut War Eagles are awaiting the winner. Corey McDonald and A.J. Rivera continue to play this long game of catch back and forth right in front of the half-court line. Reynolds standing right in front of me at the scorer's table. Rivera all the way on the other side. Reynolds controls. Pallador out to meet him. Drives past Pallador. Fires a 15-footer. Good. Right off the back iron and in from Cameron Reynolds. Reynolds up to 4 points in the half. 39-37. 2-point lead for the Sharks. Chase Jenkins, who's now the top scorer for the Terriers, hands it off to Wilson Pallador. Left-hand wing out high, Kevin Jackson, guarded by Spada. Gets a screen. Kicks it back to Hargrove between the circles. Now Pallador. Pallador. Screen from Hargrove. Back up top. Left-hand corner, and the ball goes off the hands of Chase Jenkins and into the Titusville bench. It'll be Atlantic basketball. Sharks really got to take advantage of these situations where they get a chance for a 4-point swing. 1 minute to go in the third. 39-37 Sharks. Cameron Reynolds got to get across the stripe. He does. Into the high post. Here's McDonald out of the left-hand corner for Sharpton. Sharpton guarded very closely by Kevin Jackson. Baseline. Back out. Here's Reynolds, and he'll walk it all the way back to the top, guided by Ray Wilson Pallador. 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Sharks will likely hold for the final shot. Reynolds drives right-hand wing and sees a double team coming and backs all the way up to the half-court line. Now Corey McDonald all the way up, out high on the left-hand side, standing right by the baseline, halfway in between the baseline and the half-court line. McDonald to Reynolds. With 7 seconds to go in the quarter, Cameron Reynolds just holds the ball. 5 seconds left, 4. He's nowhere near the three-point line. Reynolds to McDonald. He didn't get the shot away. It's in. It's too late. It's too late. It won't count. We go to the fourth quarter. Your score, Sharks 39. Titusville 37. We'll be right back after this. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the 4A District 9 Boys Basketball Tournament. MJT Sports Productions is proud to announce that every game of the FHSAA 4A District 9 basketball tournament can be heard right here on MJT Sports Productions on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The girls tournament runs from February 2nd to 5th, and the boys February 9th to 12th. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at MJT Sports Productions for updates on the times and matchups for both tournaments. And tonight, right after this, it's going to be the Cocoa Tigers and the Space Coast Vipers. So stick around for the other quarterfinal. Winner of that game gets the Satellite Beach Scorpions in the semis. 39-35, Sharks have the lead, and they'll start with the basketball in the fourth quarter, wearing the all-white home strip. Teal numbers, black trim, teal and black stripes down the sides. Against the Titusville Terriers, black road strip, gold and blue stripes down the side. Blue numbers, gold trim. Cameron Reynolds in front of the scorer's table. Reynolds trying to get by Christian Moore. Out high is Johnny Rivera trying to get around Polidor. With only a 2-point lead, Reynolds drives, gets by one, tries to throw up a layup as he was falling to the ground and get it in the act of shooting foul. And they're going to get Moore for tripping, his first. It's not going to be in the act of shooting, so the Sharks will get a baseline in onto the basket that they attack to listeners' right. The gunner is Johnny Rivera. Remember, both starting big men, or excuse me, I'll rectify that statement in a minute as Rivera hands to Sharpton on the baseline. Sharpton backs up, takes a 15-foot jumper from the baseline and misses it short. Ray Wilson Polidor controls for the Terriers. Here's Chase Jenkins, back to Polidor, thought about a three, takes a three from the straight on. It's no good. Rebound goes to Corey McDonald. McDonald hands to Trace Sharpton. And Sharpton throws it into the corner for Gio Spada. Spada will play it back to Reynolds, and Reynolds will control in front of the scorer's table. Gets around Polidor, into the lane. Floater, yes! For Cameron Reynolds, he's up to 6 points in the second half, and it's 41-37 Sharks over the Titusville Terriers. Chase Jenkins controls for Titusville. Off the way, Wilson Polidor. Polidor around a screen between the circles. Thought about a three, won't take it. Pitches it to Jenkins, left-hand wing. Jenkins, guarded by Rivera, takes a long three. It's too strong. Sharpton boxes out well and grabs the rebound. Now he's going to be double teamed in front of the Sharks bench. Throws it off of a Terrier and out of bounds. That Terrier is Christian Moore. And it'll be a sideline in for Atlantic in front of their own bench. Right here, right at the scorer's table. Johnny Rivera will be the gunner. Leaving the game is Kevin Jackson. Not sure who replaced him for the Terriers. It will be Jordan Brown back at the game. Brown 2 points in the first half, hasn't seen the floor in the second. Cameron Reynolds, his heels on the half-court line. Drives past Brown to the right-hand wing, into the corner McDonald, and back to Reynolds. Sharks really being patient now. Again past Brown goes Reynolds. Again he backs up all the way back to the half-court line. Shovels it to Rivera. Out high on the left-hand side. Rivera drives into the paint. Nobody there, and he's fouled as he goes to the basket, and it's going to be a two-shot penalty. Jordan Brown picks up his second as Johnny Rivera will go to the line. 64% from the charity stripe, and hit two big three-pointers in the first half, did Ajani. Yet to trouble the score sheet in the second half. Chance to rectify that right here. His first penalty shot's up and good. 42-37, Sharks lead the Titusville Terriers. It's up and in. Rivera hits them both, 43-37. Full court press from the Sharks. They get it into Hargrove. Hargrove just gonna walk across the timeline with it. Gets past Reynolds out high, gets to the baseline. Troubles it under the basket for Polidor. Reverse layup is no good. Polidor gets his own miss, gets it back. It's going to be over the back, or over the baseline. It's going to be Titusville basketball as Cameron Reynolds bumped it out of play. Nice job by Wilson Polidor, who's only 5'10", jumping against the 6'3" Trace Sharpton. And with 4 fouls, Giovanni Spada is going to be replaced by Emmanuel Preston, who comes into the game with 4 fouls. Inbound, stolen by Trace Sharpton on the baseline, and he's going to step on the line, and it'll be again Titusville basketball under the basket that they attack. To listeners left, baseline out, Ray Wilson, Polidor the gunner. Polidor gets it back, then hands to Jordan Brown. Out on top between the circles, here's Chase Jenkins. Jenkins to Polidor, left-hand wing. Polidor gets to the lane, drives, kick out left-hand side. Long two is too short. Battle for the ball under the basket. Trace Sharpton grabs it, throws it ahead to Cameron Reynolds, who's in space, and he's bumped from behind. A wild layup is in. I don't think it's going to be in the act of shooting, though. He just, Cameron Reynolds, as he was falling on the ground, they're going to get Hargrove for his third. He was falling on the ground, just shoveled the ball up with his right hand, and it somehow went in the basket. And it's not going to count, though, because the foul was way before the active shooting. So it'll be a baseline in for Atlantic. A nice athletic play, though. Reynolds, catch and shoot, 20-footer, good for Cameron Reynolds. 8 points in the second half to pace all scores. And it's 45-37 Sharks. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the ball game. Titusville with Jenkins. Out on top, guarded by Rivera. Rivera makes some separation, hands to Hargrove between the circles. Hargrove drives into a double team. Step back jumper by Hargrove, bricks it right-hand side. And the Sharks take the rebound. A long pass finds Trey Sharpton. His layup is good off of the transition defense to offense. Sharpton has 6 points in the second half. He's second among all scorers. 10-point lead for the Sharks, and it's been a 6-point swing. Out on top, here's Hargrove into the low post. The layup is up and good, and one for Christian Moore. That's Christian Moore's first points of the ball game. Trey Sharpton, that's his fourth. So now both starting forwards for the Sharks have 4 fouls, Preston and Sharpton. I'm expecting, well, with 4:40 to go, they may just let them play till they get 5. But I'm expecting a heavy dose of Drake and Brown and Giovanni Spada here in the last couple of minutes. And one for Christian Moore. It's on the way. It's too strong. Offensive rebound. Put back. No good. Corey McDonald tips it up. It comes back to Almonte, who's just checked in. Ball on the floor. High left-hand side. Double team. Back to the top. Jenkins controls. After a wild sequence, sees Titusville keep possession. Out on top, here's Hargrove, guarded by Sharpton. Hargrove drives the lane. It's going to be a 3-second violation. Shark ball. That's defensive 3 seconds as Christian Moore lingered in the paint too long. AJ Rivera drives the lane against Almonte. Gets it all the way back in front of the scorer's table. Still against Almonte. Rivera switches to the left hand and will back all the way up and then try again, and he's going to get a foul. And they're going to get it on Almonte for a reach in. That's his first. The junior guard averages 5.5 points per game, but only has 2 points via 2 free throws. Where he's really good is in the rebounding game, averaging 6.3. We don't keep rebounding stats on the table, unfortunately. And now into the bonus go the Sharks. So Ajani Rivera from the line. Front end of a 1-and-1 coming. Rivera into his motion. It's up. It's good off the back iron. Second shot on the way from Rivera is up, and it is good. Rivera 4 for 4 from the line in this second half. 10-point lead for the Sharks, 49-39. 4 minutes flat to go. Wilson Polidor between the circles. Pitches it left-hand wing to Almonte. Almonte got it by his opposite number. Right outside on the right-hand side. Baseline drive for Wilson Polidor. Kicks it back to the top for Hargrove. Hargrove flat to Jenkins. Jenkins left-hand drive. Gets to the lane. Layup too strong. Offensive rebound. Put back and one by Christian Moore. They're going to get Corey McDonald for his second. And second trip to the line in quick succession for Christian Moore for an and one in this quarter. Into his motion. It's up. It's no good. Missed it again. This time the Sharks take the rebound. Ajani Rivera runs past Wilson Polidor. Kicks it to the left-hand corner, and then back up top for Trey Sharpton. Here comes the 2-1-2 zone again. Cameron Reynolds all the way up on top. Guarded by Christian Moore. Then McDonald against Almonte. McDonald to Sharpton. Sharpton in front of his own bench, right-hand wing. Hands it to Reynolds, and Reynolds goes all the way back and puts his heels against the half-court stripe. 3 minutes to go in the ball game. 49-41 Sharks trying to get to the semifinals for the first time in a couple of years. A.J. Rivera drives the lane, kicks it all the way up on top to Trey Sharpton. Sharpton against Christian Moore, hands it right-hand corner to Reynolds, and Reynolds goes all the way up, and Reynolds is going to draw a reach-in foul from Chase Jenkins. That's the third for Jenkins. And it'll be a 1-and-1. Atlantic now trying to just run out the clock. 2:47 to go in the ball game, a 49-41 lead for Atlantic. 1-and-1 now coming for Cameron Reynolds. It's up. It's no good. Into the front court comes Chase Jenkins for Titusville. Here's Almonte. Almonte at the free throw line. Back to Wilson Polidor up high at the top of the key. Hands it right-hand side, Jenkins. Jenkins gets a screen, baseline drive, puts up with the right hand, and the foul. Chase Jenkins is a problem as A.J. Rivera picks up his third.
Make them use the screen. You got to make them come off the screen.
10 points in the game now for Chase Jenkins, the 6'2 guard, and he makes the and one. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him. We'll take 30 seconds and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the 4A District 9 basketball quarterfinals. It's time you feel your best physically, mentally, spiritually. Excuse me. It's time you feel your best physically, mentally, spiritually to be centered and supported. To feel the power of a world-class healthcare network coming together to help you take control of your health, it's time to feel whole. Advent Health is a proud supporter of Volusia County School Athletics. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. It is 2:28 to go in the ball game. Atlantic with the basketball. Cameron Reynolds drives past Jenkins, gets into the front court. 2:20 to go. Sharks with a 49-44 lead, looking to get to the semifinals. Cameron Reynolds in front of the scorer's table as this zone comes again for Titusville, and then a pitch in the left-hand corner is right into the hands of Almonte. Titusville runs the other way with Jenkins. Jenkins spins in the lane. A layup is no good off to the left, and it's grabbed by Corey McDonald. McDonald, long pass up to Sharpton, and Sharpton controls in the left-hand corner. Bounce pass to the top for Ajani Rivera. Rivera back to Sharpton. Left-hand wing, draws a double team, gets it back to Rivera. Rivera to Reynolds. Reynolds into the corner. And then it cycles back up top for Reynolds after McDonald had it for a second. As the Sharks try and drain the clock. 49-44, Atlantic leads Titusville. 1:32 to go in the game. Ajani Rivera into the left-hand corner for Trey Sharpton. Through a double team to Emmanuel Preston at the free throw line, then back to Ajani Rivera. And then floated back in the high post and out for Preston. Reynolds throws to Rivera, and they will commit the intentional foul. It's going to go on Christian Moore, his second. Now Ajani Rivera is going to have to, the Sharks rather, Ajani Rivera right now, but the Sharks as a whole are going to have to cement this game at the free throw line. They currently lead by 5. Rivera's the line for 2, and no Shark, as the first one is up and good for AJ. And no Shark is in the front court with him. All 4. Reynolds, Sharpton, Preston, and McDonald are all in the backcourt. Second free throw, good for Ajani Rivera. He is 6 of 6 from the line in the second half. 51-44. Jenkins into the high post. And a nice move to get by a defender up and in for Richard Hargrove. Hargrove's been a bit quiet. That's only his 3rd point. And it's going to be a full timeout. Excuse me. So we'll take a timeout with him. 1:09 to go. 51-46. Atlantic over Titusville. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the 4A District 9 basketball tournament. If you are enjoying tonight's broadcast, be sure to hit the like button on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and share the broadcast with other Sharks fans by clicking share or retweet. Thank you for supporting NJT Sports Productions and Atlantic Basketball. 1 minute and 9 seconds to go. Sharks trying to cling to a 51-46 lead and move on to the semifinals for the first time in 2 years. Remember last season they were upset in the quarterfinals by the 5th-seeded Satellite team who went on to finish second in the tournament. Atlantic will inbound into the basket that they defend. To listeners left, Titusville will play one-man press, and now they'll bring a full press as the whistle goes. Sharpton thought about giving it to Reynolds, now he does. Handed to Reynolds on the baseline, back to Sharpton. All the way over to Rivera. Rivera gets across the timeline, pitches to McDonald. McDonald is going to be fouled across the shoulder by Hargrove. Excuse me, by Jenkins. And it's going to be 2 shots for Corey McDonald. McDonald, a quiet day at the office, only 3 points. Those coming on a 3-point shot in the first quarter as senior Josh Burke gets set to check in. McDonald's first is up and good as Burke comes into the game. 52-46, a minute left. Second of a 2-shot penalty coming up for Corey McDonald. Once again, all the Sharks except McDonald beyond the backcourt. Second shot up and good. Both of them made. 53-46. A minute and 1 second. 61 ticks to go. Titusville into the front court with Wilson Palador. Ray to Almeida, tries to take a charge, and he will take a charge. Almeida barrels over Trey Sharpton, and Almonte grabs his second foul. It's going to be Atlantic basketball. What a huge charge. Set his feet, fell to the floor, got the foul as Corey McDonald comes back in for Josh Burke. He was on the floor for all of about 45 seconds. 55 seconds to go. Reynolds back to Sharpton as a full court press comes from Titusville. Down out of a double team, here's Reynolds. Now he's double teamed. 45 seconds to go, they get it to Sharpton. Sharpton throws the ball away. Reynolds dives on the floor for it, and he is going to get a timeout called by Derek Williams. Cameron Reynolds, he's only a sophomore. He is the bright future of this team. Play hard, eat clean, love big, and start living your best life because we're here to help heal what hurts, ease your mind, and lift your spirit with the latest medical innovation and whole person care. It's time to take control of your health. It's time to feel whole. Visit AdventHealth.com for more information. Coming up right after this, it's the second game of our doubleheader between the Cocoa Tigers and the Space Coast Vipers. MJT Sports Productions will have it all for you right here from courtside. 40 seconds to go in the ball game. 53-46. 7-point lead for the Sharks, and they have amassed that lead off the back of 9 of 10 from the free throw line here in the second half. The Terriers have sent them to the charity stripe, and the Sharks have delivered. Also, 17 points on the night for Cameron Reynolds to lead all scorers. Sharks will inbound it across from the scorer's table, sideline in. A.J. Rivera will be the gunner. Rivera trying to find somebody open, pitches it in the backcourt to Cameron Reynolds. Cameron Reynolds trying to get around Tristan Moore. He does into the front court. Finds McDonald, back to Rivera, and Rivera is going to be fouled on the Atlantic logo at center court. 31.3 seconds to go as this game has ground to a halt. Ray Wilson Polidor grabs his second foul. And to the line for two goes A.J. Rivera. His first is right through there. A.J. Rivera in this fourth quarter is 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Josh Burke checks into the game for Corey McDonald as The junior guard takes the seat. Rivera, second one up and in. 12 of 12 in the fourth quarter for A.J. Rivera from the free throw line. 28 seconds to go. Avidas Almonte into the front court. Here's Ray Wilson, Palador. Palador takes a long three from the left-hand wing. It's no good, too strong. Battle for the rebound is won by Trace Sharpton, and Sharpton is going to be fouled immediately. It looks like Almonte got to him first, and he did. That's the third on Almonte. So Trace Sharpton now is going to go to the line. 2 for 2 from the line back in the first quarter. Hasn't gotten there since. 55-46. The Sharks have now eclipsed their average points per game mark as Sharpton misses the first one. Sharks average 50.5 points per game coming in. The Titusville Terriers 45.6. So both teams have eclipsed their average points per game mark. 1 for 2 from the line goes Sharpton. Into the front court. Underneath the basket, a foul's going to be called. It's a 10-point game, 56-46. Oh, they're going to count the basket as an and one, and that's the 5th foul on Emmanuel Preston. He'll be done with 12 seconds to go as Chase Jenkins drove the entire length of the floor, got to the basket. He is the top scorer as Preston gets a nice round of applause as he comes to the bench. Corey McDonald replaces him. Giovanni Spada also into the game, replacing Josh Burke.
Cameron, switch with AJ. Cameron.
And one coming for Chase Jenkins.
No, you got shooter. Gio, get him out of there 1-on-1.
It's up. It's no good. Rebound goes to the corner. It's out of bounds. I'm not sure whose ball it is.
Hey, silver
It's
everything.
Titusville ball.
50, 50, 50. Gio, silver everything. Let's go. Trace.
Titusville with the basketball. 10 seconds to go. They're down 8. 56-48. Into the game. Underneath the basket. A layup is no good for Richard Hargrove. Sharks take the basketball. It's battled for underneath the basket. A loose ball. It's going to be a jump ball. And it should be Atlantic basketball off the possession arrow. 3.2 seconds to go. And the Sharks can just about breathe easy. Into the game once again comes Josh Burke. Corey McDonald takes a seat. 3.2 seconds to go. An 8-point lead, and an inbound pass is going to come for Titusville as they had the possession arrow. Catch and shoot, way wide, missed everything, air ball, ball game over. Sharks move on to the semifinals. They win the ball game 56-48, and tomorrow night the Atlantic Sharks will face the #1 seeded Astronaut High School War Eagles. You can catch that game right here on MJT Sports Productions. Remember, coming up next is the second game of our doubleheader between the Cocoa Tigers and the Space Coast Vipers. But we'll be back in 60 seconds to wrap up the final scores and totals from this game. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the 4A District 9 Boys Basketball Tournament. Live from courtside at the Shark Tank, the Atlantic Sharks win their quarterfinal matchup. They beat the Titusville Terriers 56-48, and they'll be back tomorrow to play against the Astronaut War Eagles. Your final scores from the ball game. For Titusville, leading the way with 15 points was Chase Jenkins. Colin Jacobson had 6. Ray Wilson Polidor had 6. Richard Hargrove had 9. Christian Moore had 4. Kevin Jackson had 2. And Abidas Almonte had 2. And for the Atlantic Sharks, leading all scores with 17 was Cameron Reynolds. Trace Sharpton had 11. A.J. Rivera had 14, including 8 of 8 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter to ice the game. Corey McDonald had 5. Draken Brown had 4. And Emmanuel Preston had 5 and also fouled out. Once again, coming up shortly, it's the second game of our doubleheader between the Cocoa Tigers and the Space Coast Vipers. Thank you for listening. My name is Michael Trevillo. We'll see you shortly.